Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. It is the invisible line that separates those who dream from those who achieve. And when I say extreme discipline, I'm not talking about doing the bare minimum or being disciplined only when life feels easy. I am talking about the kind of discipline that transforms you from the inside out. The kind of discipline that rewires your brain, reshapes your habits, and makes you unshakable in the face of temptation. Because the truth is, discipline is freedom. Discipline is power. Discipline is self-respect. And without it, you are a prisoner of your moods, your laziness, your excuses, your distractions, and your weaknesses. And if you look closely at your life, you will realize that every single thing you regret comes from a lack of discipline. Every time you failed yourself, it was because you gave in to comfort instead of standing tall in discipline. Every wasted day, every broken promise, every abandoned goal, every lost opportunity, all of them were destroyed by the absence of discipline. And if you truly want to become extremely disciplined, you must first understand that this is not something you are born with. It is not a talent, it is not a gift. It is a choice you make and a muscle you train. It is something you can build day by day if you are willing to be honest with yourself and stop running from the truth. Because the truth is, discipline is painful at first. It demands sacrifice, it demands discomfort. It demands that you say no to the things that feel good in the moment but cost you everything in the future. And this is where most people fail because they want success, but they don't want sacrifice. They want results, but they don't want routines. They want greatness, but they don't want grind. And that is why discipline is rare. That is why disciplined people stand out. Because they do what most people are too weak to do. And if you are listening to this right now, you already know deep down that the only thing separating you from the life you want is your ability to master discipline. Now let me tell you something. Being extremely disciplined starts with clarity, because you cannot be disciplined about nothing. You cannot just wake up and expect discipline to appear if you don't know what you're chasing. You must have a clear vision of who you want to become, what you want to achieve, and why it matters. Because the stronger your why, the stronger your discipline. If your vision is weak, you will always give in to comfort, but if your vision is powerful, if you can see the future version of yourself clearly, you will not let momentary weakness destroy permanent destiny. So the first step is decide what kind of life you want and then commit fully. Because discipline without commitment collapses, but discipline with commitment builds empires. And once you have clarity, the next step is to master your mornings, because mornings set the tone for the entire day. And if you cannot control your morning, you cannot control your life. So wake up with purpose. Don't roll over and hit snooze. Don't scroll your phone mindlessly. Don't waste the first hour of your day, because that first hour is the foundation of discipline. And if you win the morning, you win the day. If you win the day, you win the week. If you win the week, you win the month. And if you stack enough months with discipline, you win the year, and soon you win your entire life. Extreme discipline also means mastering your environment. Because willpower alone is weak, no matter how strong you think you are. If you surround yourself with temptations, you will eventually fall. But if you design your environment for success, discipline becomes automatic. Remove distractions, put your phone away when it's time to work. Clean your space, create order, surround yourself with people who push you higher. Because your environment shapes your discipline. And if you want to be extremely disciplined, you must take control of what surrounds you. Another truth about discipline is that it grows through small daily actions, not giant occasional efforts. It's not about working hard for one day and then quitting. It's about showing up every single day whether you feel like it or not. Because feelings are irrelevant. Discipline is not about what you feel. It's about what you do regardless of how you feel. And if you keep waiting to feel motivated, you will never build discipline. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire. Motivation may start you, but only discipline can finish. So stop waiting for the right mood and start training yourself to act despite the mood. That is how you become unshakable. And remember this, discipline compounds. At first it feels small, it feels boring, it feels like it doesn't matter, but over time it builds momentum. One day of discipline leads to another. One victory leads to another. And soon you look back and realize you've completely transformed. Your habits are different. Your results are different. Your life is different. And it all started with the small choices you made daily when nobody was watching. Because that is the secret of discipline. It's not about impressing others. It's about keeping the promises you made to yourself. It's about becoming the kind of person who does what they said they would do, no matter what. And let me tell you this. Extreme discipline is not about perfection. You will make mistakes, you will slip, you will have moments of weakness, but the difference between the disciplined and the undisciplined is that the disciplined never let failure become final. They never let one bad day turn into a bad week. They bounce back fast. They get back on track. They keep moving forward. Because discipline is about persistence, not perfection. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. It's about staying committed long after the excitement fades. It's about showing up even when no one claps for you. Because in the end, discipline is not glamorous, it's not flashy, it's not easy, but it is worth it. It is what builds champions. It is what creates leaders. It is what shapes legacies. And if you want to be extremely disciplined, you must be willing to pay the price every day. And when you begin to stack enough days of this level of discipline, you start to notice changes, not only in your results, but in your identity. Because discipline is not just about what you do, it is about who you become. Every act of discipline is a vote for the person you want to be. And over time, those votes accumulate until you no longer see yourself as someone who tries. You see yourself as someone who follows through. You no longer see yourself as weak. You see yourself as strong. You no longer see yourself as a quitter. You see yourself as unstoppable. And that identity shift is where extreme discipline becomes permanent. Because once you believe deep in your bones that you are a disciplined person, everything changes. Your choices change. Your actions change, your standards change. And when your standards rise, your life rises with them. Because life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you tolerate. And if you tolerate laziness, excuses, and inconsistency, that is what you will get. But if you demand discipline from yourself, if you refuse to settle for anything less, your entire reality will shift. Extreme discipline also means becoming a master of delayed gratification, because the undisciplined live for the now. They eat what they crave. They waste time when they're bored. They spend money when they feel like it. They do whatever feels good in the moment, but the disciplined think long-term. They are willing to suffer now for rewards later. They are willing to endure discomfort today for freedom tomorrow. They are willing to sacrifice temporary pleasure for permanent success. And this ability to delay gratification is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful, the strong from the weak, the disciplined from the undisciplined. And if you want to become extremely disciplined, you must train yourself to see beyond the moment, to think years ahead, to ask yourself not what feels good now, but what will make me proud later. Because that simple shift in perspective will give you the strength to say no to distractions and yes to growth. Discipline also transforms your relationship with time. Because when you are undisciplined, you waste hours, you waste days, you waste weeks. You procrastinate, you delay, you drift, and before you know it, years have passed and you are still in the same place. But when you are disciplined, you value every minute. You plan your days, you guard your schedule, you respect your time as if it were your life. Because it is. Time is life. And when you waste time, you waste life. But when you master time through discipline, you master life. And this is why disciplined people seem to accomplish so much more. It's not that they have more hours, it's that they use their hours with extreme intention. And intention is the essence of discipline. And understand this, extreme discipline is not built overnight. It is built through repetition, through doing the hard things again and again until they become your new normal. And at first it will feel unnatural. At first your mind will resist, your body will fight back. Your old habits will scream at you to stop. But if you push through that resistance long enough, something magical happens. The hard becomes easy, the unnatural becomes natural. The painful becomes automatic, and that is when discipline becomes your default mode. When you don't even have to think about it, you just live it. Because you have trained yourself into a new identity, and that identity is unshakable. And to reach that point, you must embrace the boredom of discipline, because discipline is not always exciting. It is not always fun. Sometimes it is repetitive. Sometimes it feels dull. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening.